also has his own throne. Now I'm going in the right direction. He has his own throne. Go to Revelations chapter 13. That is the very last book. Okay. Revelations chapter 13. Okay. Everybody got there? Now we're going to look at verse 2. Now I want you to stay there too, because we're going to move on. We're dealing with, he has his own throne. We're going to look at the throne first. Revelation chapter 13, verse 2. And the beast, which I saw, was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of the lion. Now, if I was doing this study, I would break all this down, but we don't have time. We're just showing you something about his kingdom. And the dragon gave him power, and his throne, or his seat, and great authority. Okay, dealing with the throne. Now, if you go to verse 4 of that same passage, just skip 3 and go to 4. Now you'll see he has worshipers. He has worshipers right now. Okay, look at verse 4. And they worship the dragon. Okay, they're worshiping Satan now, which gave power unto the beast. And they worship the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him. So all I'm doing is showing you Satan's kingdom, his concepts, and his fundamentals. Okay. The whole thing I'm showing you is that God has a kingdom, Satan has a kingdom. One is already established that will take control and be dominant. One is temporary and is an imitation. Okay? His kingdom is counterfeit. Please understand this. His whole goal, as I explained earlier in this series, he wants to be like God. He wants to receive glory like God. And he wants to have subjects or followers in his kingdom like God. I had a professor who would say, often in class, he would say, Satan embezzles. That's what he would say. Satan embezzles. And then he would say, Satan likes to divert attention and praise away from God as his time draws closer to the end. Notice that. Satan is diverting and drawing attention away from God as his time approaches to be his end. Look around. Just look around. People, use your spiritual eyes. If you are about the kingdom, and hear what I say, then you should be geared up to protect your king and the kingdom. Satan is going to try to divert our attention from what Christ has done, and he's going to cause some to live below their spiritual authority, which we see now. I have not seen so many believers operating so low in spiritual authority. And he's going to try to keep us from being kingdom-minded. That's what he's going to do as his time draws to an end. You cannot engage yourself at this time in nonsense debates on religion. You cannot. Yes, we are supposed to give an answer, which is called apologetics. We are supposed to defend. Okay? But too often times, people just want to get in nonsense debates about certain things that has nothing to do with us getting out of here and maintaining our status and keeping our gear up for a spiritual war. I want you to see that could be a diversion. Okay? The best thing to do is defend your faith, okay, and keep it moving. Because God's throne, I want you to, before I close this, God's throne is his governing seat. Okay? Yes, his throne is in the third heaven, but it is referencing to governing power in the third heaven, okay? Where God exercises visibly his government and power. Okay, yes, that's where we say he's located. That's where he's located, in the third heaven. He's exercising his government and his power from the third heaven. But I want you to understand this: God is not defined to a realm. Okay? He is not defined just to the third heavens. And one of my favorite scriptures, I have many, but I'm gonna give you my top 50. One of my favorite scriptures comes from 1 Kings chapter 8, 27. Okay? You can go there, but I'm going to tell you exactly what it means. He says in 1 Kings chapter 8, verse 27. And I'm dealing with God is not confined to a realm, or defined to a realm. Okay? 1 Kings chapter 8, verse 27 says, even the heavens of heavens is not able to contain him, because he is above all realms. He is above all realms. 1 Kings chapter 8, verse 27.